Hi, welcome to my first video and welcome to my brain. This is what it looks like, and if you look at the bottom left side, you'll see that it is a bit weird looking. It seems a bit odd. Well, that's because it is. As you will see in the next few pictures, I have an AVM. The black tangled mess there, that kind of looks like an alien life form, is a so-called arteriovenous malfunction. It is a tangle of abnormal blood vessels in the brain that can cause all sorts of things, like frequent headaches, seizures, or in the worst case, a hemorrhage, which can lead to death. Well, aren't we starting out cheery? AVMs are quite rare. Only 1% of the general population is affected, and we don't know an awful lot about them as of now. For example, what causes them? What we do almost certainly know is that you are born with an AVM and cannot get one later in life. But let's get a little more into detail about what happens inside an AVM. In your brain, you have arteries and veins. The small arteries carry blood with a lot of oxygen from the heart to the brain. The bigger veins then carry blood with less oxygen from the brain back to your heart. That is the normal circulation of blood in your body. You may have heard about it in biology class. Now, when you have an AVM, abnormal blood vessels cause the arteries to transport blood directly into the veins, bypassing any other brain tissue. When you have blood vessels that are too big, the blood rushing through them clashes against the thin walls of the vessel, which can, of course, become dangerous. Blood vessels in the brain can grow bigger over time and burst and bleed. This is called a cerebral hemorrhage, and it has a 10 to 20% chance of leading to death. Other risks are strokes, loss of sight, speech, or mobility. So yeah, that is what I have, and I want to tell you a bit about what it was like when it got discovered, what the treatment was, and what my life is like now. When my AVM was first discovered, I was 17 years old. So this very cool, fashionable young lady got home after school and took a nap, like you do. In my sleep, I suffered from a seizure, and my mum found me after hearing strange noises from my bedroom. I was rushed to the hospital, where they did a few scans and tests, including MRI and CT. Well, the pictures showed this horror show, so the doctor explained to us what had caused the seizure and what was wrong with me. And you know, I always had kind of thought that something was wrong with me because I always had headaches as a child even, and it's not quite usual to have that much headache as a child. And so what followed, the short version, because I don't want to make a 2-hour video, is 8 operations, one after the other, every 6 to 8 weeks. I was in school at that point. Again, it started when I was 17 years old, and it was finished when I was 19 years old. At that time, I tried to be a normal teenager. I had a boyfriend, I had girlfriends, we had a lot of fun. But also, of course, I was very unstable physically and later also mentally, which is worth another video, a whole other story, all that mental stuff that comes with it. But yeah, this is the short story of my AVM. And why I'm making this video now is because after a break of almost 5 years, I went back to the hospital to do an angiography where they look how it's all developed over the past 5 years, if anything has changed. And they found that it indeed had, and they advised me to undergo surgery once more. So I did that in January. Such a hard word to pronounce for a non-English speaker. January. Yeah. So I did that, and the experience to be in the hospital again after such a long time was quite intense, and I also met interesting and intense people again there. So there's some footage of that.
actually in the afternoon right now, and I'm alone in my room, trying to look somewhat human. Just watched the clip I did at night, and I don't really remember much from it. So the drugs, I guess. Yeah, I haven't really slept much last night. I had a very strong migraine. It was really rough. They gave me something for it through the vein, so it actually helped. And they gave me sleeping pills, but they didn't work either, because I have really, really bad trouble sleeping, always had. And yeah, if that shit starts, there's no stopping it. I just have to suffer through it, endure it, and then the next day I may be lucky. So yeah, I had a nice nap, because yesterday I had a really big scare. Actually, I started seeing all this glimmery stuff on the left side of my face, almost like crystal formations, and like church windows without colors. Like, yeah, sounds nice, but it's not really that practical if you're trying to see. Yeah, that was really scary, because every time I have something like that, even all those years ago, I'm always so scared that it'll stay. And I already saw myself in my future not being able to walk normally, not being able to read anymore because I couldn't focus on anything. Stuff can happen. And I remember similar things happening to me back then, but as I have probably told you by now, it's been years, actual years. 7 years, 8 years, I don't even know. I can't count. But yeah, I don't remember everything from back then, and I don't remember which symptoms I used to have and which are new. And yeah, and every time I feel like something's new, there's just this panic inside of me. It's like it's been waiting there all these years to burst out again, like something new is happening. Your life's changing again. You will have to adapt again to new shit that impacts your life. And yeah, I'm learning my lesson here again and again and again. Sometimes I ask myself why I'm back here and why I have this. And there's this woman here I've met. She went home now, but like always, like fate or the universe or whatever force, something brought me together with another human being that helped me here. It happened to me before. It happened to me 3 or 4 times that I've met people here that are just amazing or special or even scary or wise, but are somewhat helpful for my journey. The woman I met, that's no joke, was a psychiatrist. With an actual psychiatrist with a special degree in writing therapy. And yesterday, before my friends came, we had a full-on 1 hour and a half therapy session here. And she analyzed me a little bit and listened to me and talked to me too about her life and her experience. And this woman was just... I feel like our paths had to cross.
And yeah, I wasn't wrong. I've met her again quite recently. Her name is Anna, and I can tell you a bit about that if you want to as well. But now for the end of the story of January,
I finished my stay at the hospital after about 4 days, and I got back to some level of fitness. But unfortunately, the doctors told me that I had to come again in March. Because they couldn't close off the whole angioma, the whole AVM at once, because the stuff they put in your veins is it's called onyx, not that one. It's a special kind of glue, and that can become quite toxic. So if they put too much in your brain, that's not good. So I came in again last week, and I finished what I started 10 years ago. And now I'm back home, sitting on my couch and editing this video, which is probably going to be a mess. But it's been quite a journey. And there's still so much to talk about that I don't even know where to start or where to end. All I can say is that to everyone who has an AVM, there is hope. There's the possibility of becoming truly healthy again and having the best prospects of life and having a safe life without a ticking time bomb in your brain. I wanted to raise a bit of awareness of AVMs because there is no such thing as an AVM community, probably because it's so rare, but we're still kind of many, and maybe someone will find this video and feel a little more hopeful, because I, after 10 operations, am done. I am healthy now. I have to go in 1 year. They're gonna check up on me, but everything's okay. I feel good. I feel really good. I don't have chronic headaches anymore. I'm just fine. And that's why I'm making this video now. And I wish you all a very healthy day.
For not having to worry about that thing in your head ever again in your life. And also it's kind of funny, because you know how many operations I will have had then? 10. Woo!